you think you
COVID
helped
with a certain
normalize
seriousness.
anything bad? You know, people have said that he did lie a little more than most presidents. I mean, no president is completely truthful, but he's a bit of a fibber.
I think the politicians exaggerate and some lie.
But didn't he do a lot more than most?
Was a big lie.
But didn't you once say, I know you did, you once said he doesn't hurl personal insults?
I was making the point that when it was in the context of something, and I also have seen him be very compassionate towards people. He's gotten people out of jail who were languishing there.
This is just a list of what he said about me.
Oh, me.
A dummy, dopey, he's not a smart guy, dumbest man on television, fired like a dog, needs to get back on the pot, dumbass, a rather dumb guy, a lowlife, dumb as a rock, moron, stupid guy, very dumb guy, failing comedian, a really dumb guy, a so-called comedian, third-rate comedian, insane, sick, wacko, stone cold, crazy, and crazy maniac.
I can't imagine the applause is a sense.
I know, but come on. You said he doesn't hurl insults.
Bill.
That's
if you're
just
gonna
me.
cherry pick things.
That's
listen,
just cherry pick.
Listen,
come on.
Listen, I loved being in public service. I loved serving this country. I gave up millions of dollars to go into the White House, and I loved what my portfolio included, which was healthcare, education, the opioid crisis. And I really liked the incoming that people asking, do you have information on this? Can you help me steer this way? I don't know what I'm doing on this. There's a certain value to public service, and some people look the other way. And, you know, I would also tell you, just lumping together 74 million people with all the troublemakers, the thugs, the marauders.
That's my editorial at the end.
But it's incredibly,
on your page.
it's incredibly dangerous too. And I know they vote every 2 to 4 years, but they consume products and services every day. And I think that corporate America make a big mistake trying to lump them all together and just ignore them. I think that those marauders and murderers, I think that they insult, not represent the whole Trump movement. And that 74 million is not a base. It's a large percentage of this country. But for me, I look at the good that was done to help impact people's lives positively. I think that government is messy. I'm happy that I worked for a president who kept the Oval Office door open to many of us. We can go in and express ourselves. I didn't win every policy debate, but I was heard. And I think any woman in a workplace who is heard by her boss and has a seat at the table should really appreciate that. All these corporate handbooks have it on page 684. We're going to have more women at the seat of the table. I had one. And like I said, I lost some of those policy debates, I won some, but he always liked people to disagree in front of him, too.
But he is the president. He represents the country. When he was first there, I remember saying there was a book called Everything I Need to Know I Learned in Kindergarten. You remember that book?
I do remember it.
It was probably when you were first doing old politically incorrect shows. We were probably talking about
Cue that tape.
And I wrote down some of the things from it. As we look back on the Trump years, let's see if any apply.
Oh, this is just
This is from
petty.
Everything I Need to Know I Learned in Kindergarten. Don't lie. Don't boast. Don't threaten. Don't bully. Don't accuse people of stuff that's not true. Don't show off your wealth. Pay your taxes. Serve your country. Don't pretend you go to church if you don't. I don't care about that one. Don't be racist. Don't insult soldiers. Try to learn something about a subject before you talk about it. Don't mock the handicapped.
Okay, can I give
and this one was not in the book, but don't grab women by the pussy. That, I think, should have been there. I mean, when you see that, do you have any...
So you think nothing good came out of the last 4 years for people in this country?
Asking about that list.
You know, the people who believed in Donald Trump, the forgotten man or forgotten woman, they appreciate an expansion of school choice and charter schools. Why should just the rich kids have all the opportunities?
That's what I love about you. I read that list and you're right on to charter schools.
No, well, because it's important to people.
You're good at what you do.
But listen, but this is what I do, and I think it's important to recognize you have dead terrorists named Soleimani, you al-Baghdadi, you have the whole judiciary.
I'm all for dead terrorists.
You have, well, but that doesn't happen by accident, Bill. That happens when somebody comes in and does
Obama
things
got one too.
Differently. Of course he did.
I don't know.
And I applauded that. And I applauded that tremendously. But I think that people shouldn't be mocked for what they wear, how they eat, where they eat, what they look like. And the Trump people are constantly mocked. And they felt like they had in Donald Trump somebody who was giving them more voice and visibility. And if you can match that with policy gains, where you do have deregulation and taxes lowered for people where it matters, other people will be just fine.
Okay.
And I think that I think his legacy on the policy stuff will survive a lot of this. Last week was horrible. I made that very clear. Last week is inexcusable, it's disgraceful. Justice is being swiftly served. You see indictments already, prosecutions, there should be punishment. And I think the FBI is digging in a little bit more into things that maybe they knew ahead of time.
Well, happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Good luck with whatever you do in the future.
More.
All right.
Lots of stuff.
Thank you.
Take care.
Kellyanne Conway.